Hey friends, hey, this is Blake. Welcome back to my channel. So glad you guys are here. I want to hop on here and talk to you about things I've learned about in my healing journey here, especially the last couple of weeks. If y'all remember, I've been, really sitting in my hurt and my pain. I was instructed to do that, and it has been so difficult, to be honest with you, because I guess I just had the tendency to want to sweep it under the rug. But when they take the rug away from you, you have to hit it head on. It changes your whole processing, and it's been difficult, but it's also been a blessing to me, to be very honest with you, and something I've needed for a long time. But I want to talk to you about intimacy, and I'm just, as I said on this channel, I'm just going to be so transparent with you and speak to you from my heart. And I have just learned the importance of intimacy as I'm healing. As you're healing, you start to see things so differently. When I was back on online dating, gosh, what, 4 years ago, whenever it was, I had 2 dates with these, beautiful women, two great women, and they, both of them they were waiting to be married to have intimacy. And at the time, I was like, oh my gosh, I have so much respect for you. Like that is a huge, I just had so much respect. But I was also told them, I was like, hey, but I just know who I am, and I cannot wait till I'm married. In my mind is, of course, I'm a man too. I'm thinking, heck, it might be 80 years old. I might never get married, And I value intimacy so much in the relationship. To me, it's so important. But I will tell you that what I have learned is, of course, to slow down, but to cherish that intimacy in your partner. I will not ever be intimate with anyone unless I am in a committed relationship with them. And I've learned that honestly from my healing journey, and then it made me think back to those two ladies, and we're still friends and talk on social media and stuff. And it's so true though. You learn to value yourself and your body and who you are and who you offer that relationship, right? So many people these days will just do anything, and be out at the bars and who knows what happens, and, and just not caring about morals and values anymore these days. And I guess maybe I am an old school guy, and, and I've learned to so value that in my life. And I just want my next partner to be the same way. I want her to cherish her body and her values and morals, and be someone that she's, I guess, saving herself for me too, not necessarily wait till marriage though, but saving herself as far as the committed part of the relationship, right? And because I do cherish that, and I want her to know that I waited for her, that I've learned in this healing journey the importance of that, and to make it beautiful, and also to let her know that I respect her values and morals just like I do mine. And I think that's gotten lost these days. Today's society, things have changed so much, and I truly believe that relationships will not last if they're built on those lustful moments, right? So if you're out there in the club and the bars, and you're out just kind of doing whatever, and you're just doing hookups or whatever, and you're not truly dedicated to that person in a relationship, and you've not really truly got to know them on a deep level, not a shallow level, but a deep level, and that you share so many beautiful, wonderful things, and as far as character traits and things like that, that relationship's not going to last. The relationships that last are the ones that slow down, that take their time, that make sure that you're both committed in this relationship, you both value and cherish intimacy, you both are committed to trust and communication, and loving to be with that partner, and honestly truly make love. I think making love has become thing of the past these days too, unfortunately. I know I made a video on holding hands too recently, and to me personally, I think making love is right there with that. I think you have to be able to fall in love with that person to make love to them. If not, it's just lust. If not, it's just sex. Anybody can have sex, right? But you want to make sure that yours is special, that it's intimate, that you value that person, that there's a connection, that there's an emotional connection, right? That is so important, having that emotional connection. And so slow down. Make sure your partner are both committed to waiting and slowing down, and that you both sit down and you value that as part of the relationship. I know me personally, that's going to be something that I want, that I'm giving my partner, is letting her know that, hey, I've waited for you, and I value you, and I respect you, and I hope she will be that same person out there for me, right? And the more and more I heal, the more and more I start to see all these things and character traits and things that I'm looking for in my next partner. And I'm not going to settle until I meet her, until I find her, you know. And hopefully there's a woman out there that values a man these days anyway, because it seems like these days it's not that way. But me, I guess I am more traditional. Maybe it's because I'm getting a little older, maybe, I don't know. But I truly value the little things in the relationship, and I value cherishing that intimacy of that partner and being in a committed relationship. And I think those are the relationships that last. And my next relationship is going to be my last, because I'm taking my time and I'm making sure that this person is the most incredible fit for me, and I'm the most incredible fit for her too. You know, I want to make sure that too as well. And I know she's out there, and I appreciate you sharing this little channel with me and my little healing journey. And you know, I know I mentioned I would talk about anything and everything, but I want to be so real and so transparent and speak from my heart. That's why when I get emotional sometimes, is because it comes from within. I can't help it. And I think that's the way it should be in a relationship. Is, you know, you should know that you're sincere, and that your emotions, you're not afraid to share your emotions. And I'm definitely not. I'm not afraid to share my feelings and my heart, because that way you know it's real and sincere, you know. And I'll never change that. It's always who I'll be. And I just need to find a partner out there that is the same way, that she values that and she shares her heart too. And the more and more I heal, the more and more I start to see that, guys, we need to start slowing down and really taking your time and getting into the relationship. I think I know I said I wasn't going to do online dating, but I think now as I'm healing, that if I did online dating, it would probably be like eHarmony, because they give you that 2,700 page essay thing that you have to fill out and match up. But y'all, it makes so much sense now when you're healed. I think healed people probably do eHarmony, you know, and the unhealed people are on Tinder. Because that's how I feel right now in my life. Is you want to make sure that you are so compatible on so many levels, because if not, it's that vicious cycle, you know, and it gets exhausting, and you're constantly back on there. And I don't know, I just don't want to go down that path again. And I don't know, I just value I'm starting to really truly cherish who I am as a person, and honestly just love who I am as a person, and love who I have to offer. And that's when you know you're starting to get to a great place of healing, is when you start to you know, your wounds start to heal, and your healing starts to become joy. You know what I mean? And it's like you start to see things so differently, and I'm starting to get to that place. So thank you for going with me on this journey, and stay tuned. I hope to keep making some more videos, and appreciate y'all supporting me on my little channel. Okay, thank you.